The year was 1930, and the Fisher brothers believed that the need for manual skill was greater than ever before. The Fisher brothers, 7 of them, had founded Fisher Body, an automobile coach builder company, in 1908 in Detroit, Michigan. The brothers felt that the schools of 1930 were placing their greatest stress on the academic subjects, and that in some schools the boys, if not specializing in industrial arts, were missing the study of the crafts altogether. The Fisher brothers decided to start the Fisher Body Craftsmen's Guild in order to give the youth an appreciation of the crafts, the self-assurance that comes with the development of manual skill, and an insight into the true meaning of the word craftsmanship and all that it implies. Fred Fisher, the eldest brother, had been the head of the famous Detroit family, and he had perfected himself as a builder of carriages. Later, Fisher Body Corporation became a division of General Motors. The first competition started in 1930 by the Guild to build a model of a Napoleonic coach was open to boys ages 12 through 19 inclusive, the first year being open to only those boys living in the United States. The second year and thereafter, the contest was open to Canadian boys also. The design of the coach was taken from 2 coaches used by the Emperor Napoleon of France. The coaches used were from Napoleon's coronation and his marriage to Marie Louise of Austria. The Fisher Body Corporation used the coach as their logo, for the coach symbolized the luxury and elegance that they, the makers of the automobile bodies, wanted to bring to their consumers. Their emblem, the size of a postage stamp, was used on their automobile frames for Buick, Cadillac, Ford, Studebaker, and General Motors manufacturers. The emblem was used until the 1990s. To enroll in the coach competition, a boy filled out an enrollment card, which they could find in almost any newspaper or obtain one from any General Motors car dealer, Boy Scout master, or their school. This contest was highly promoted, and the Guild offered university scholarships, along with numerous other prizes. Upon receiving the enrollment coupon, the Guild sent out a membership button along with the full information on the contest free of charge. Boys all across the United States were enrolling and participating in the Napoleonic Coach competition. They were using their desks, card tables, kitchen tables, or whatever work area was available to them to build their coaches. It was said in 1931, after that first year's contest, that failure to follow the plans, sticking to specifications, and the actual material used caused the most problems. The boys could build their coach totally from scratch or build it from a kit, which included wood parts, metal parts, blueprints, templates, paint, cloth, thread, and highly detailed plans with pictures and more. The kit in 1930 cost $9.75. The labor required to build a coach was intensive and amounted to 1,000 to 1,500 hours. The highly publicized competition by the Guild offered 4 $5,000 scholarships to the top 4 model builders their first year. The winners were given a free trip to the annual convention of the Guild, held in Chicago, and the scholarships were handed out there. In 1930, that $5,000 was a huge incentive, for at that time, $5,000 was an average worker's income for 3 years. Numerous other prizes were awarded by the Guild, including 112 free trips to the convention. Not only did the Guild give out prizes, but the boys' local newspapers were giving out prizes to those who entered using an enrollment coupon from their paper. The newspaper would put in hints and ideas to use for the coach building. Schools also got involved, with many schools offering classes in the coach making. The Napoleonic Coach contest ran from 1930 to 1948. In 1937, the dream cars were added as a choice for the contest, which ran from 1937 to 1940, and due to the war was interrupted and then started back in again from 1946 to 1968, when the Guild came to an end with General Motors deciding it was in the business of manufacturing and selling cars, and not in the business of teaching America's youth the intricacies of automotive design. The building of this coach required skills in precision, accuracy, and in artistic interpretation of the blueprint plans. We give special thanks to the Waverly Library for donating this 1930 miniature Napoleonic coach to the Waverly Historical Society. This beautiful coach was made for the 1930 contest by a 17-year-old boy, Charles Schreck, who was attending the South Waverly High School. The rules of the competition required that all the parts of the coach be made by hand and have functional moving parts. This coach has 484 pieces in the 4 wheels alone. The door windows raise and lower. The catches, springs, and ratchets all work. The steps fold and slide under the body. The brass wheel rims are shrunk fit. It is estimated that about 6,000 to 7,000 award-worthy miniature model coaches were made during the Napoleonic Coach competition era of 1930 to 1948. The award-winning Guild models toured the country, being put on display in department stores, hotel lobbies, libraries, and more. They also appeared at state fairs and at the General Motors exhibits. The Waverly Historical Society Museum is honored to be in possession of one of the earliest coaches made. Charles Schreck, the maker of this carriage, became a Waverly resident and one of Waverly's businessmen who started his own business in 1969, Charles L. Schreck Incorporated, at 393 Broad Street, which was dissolved in 1989. Prior to starting his own business, he had been an employee of Harry W. Knapp & Son and manager at D. M. Handrick & Son Incorporated. It was Handrick & Son that Charles turned into the Charles L. Schreck Incorporated business, which sold furniture, carpeting, bedding, and accessories. At one time, Charles was also the keeper or caretaker of the town clock in Waverly. Charles married his wife Aileen in 1938. Charles's father had been a trainman, and one of Charles's hobbies became making and collecting miniature trains in the basement of his home at 120 Center Street, Waverly. Charles Schreck passed away in March of 1998, and he is buried at Forest Home Cemetery here in Waverly, New York. Again, the Waverly Historical Society gives special thanks to the Waverly Library for donating this coach to the museum for all to enjoy.